What you saying, gals and gents? Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we live life the affordable way. My name is Moniqua. Today we're going to be talking about trimming your locks. This has been a big debate now since a bunch of people been cutting off their locks, so now they move into the trend of trimming their locks. There are some things that I need you to consider when you're thinking about trimming your locks. It's not a bad thing. It's not something that you need to feel guilty about, but you do need to be aware about what's happening. People trim their locks just because they simply want a shorter locks. As you know, with locks, our hair keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. Like it never stops growing. So most people just trim their locks for a shorter look. Most people trim their locks because of damage. As fresh new hair is coming up out of your root, why not trim off the damaged ends? And then some people just simply trim their hair because of buildup and length. Like it literally got out of hand. There's nothing you can do. Now, when you're trimming your locks, it's good to keep in mind that you should not be trimming your starter locks. That is a no-go. It's always best to wait until you're at least in the teen stage before you even go near your hair with the scissors. Like me personally, I haven't trimmed my locks. Reason why I mention the starter lock stage is because your starter locks are prone to unravel. So you don't want to trim your hair and then you notice your lock is literally coming out. Like it's not going to be sealed. Like it's literally going to be free hair once again. So all of these things is what you need to keep in mind if you're in the starter lock phase. Another thing to keep in mind is you should not be trimming your lock in the button stage. The button stage may be ugly for some, but the button stage is vital for your lock. That stage is a stage that you have to go through, and the button stage is simply when your locks look like cheese puffs. We all been there. You should not be trimming your locks in the stage because that's the stage where your locks is actually going to form, it's shaping, you're well on your way. It's a no. Your locks need to mature and they need to grow and they need to go through the process. If you're thinking about trimming your locks in the starter lock stage or you're thinking about trimming in the button stage, you simply don't need locks. Another reason why people trim their locks is the washing and drying time. Now, I never understood this because I was like, okay, I have locks now. It's such an easy washing day, but I noticed when my hair got longer, my washing day does take extremely long because not only does it get heavier, like I literally have to go through my hair thoroughly because I don't want nothing to leave over. I don't want no buildup. I don't want none of that. So I have to go through my locks thoroughly to wash it, and then the drying time is long. Like I feel like I literally be drying my hair for hours at a time. That's how long it feels because not only is it heavy and wet and my wash is taking longer, it's also more thorough. Like you have to be more thorough. It takes a lot more time versus when I first started. I love washing days. My hands never used to hurt. Like I wasn't going through nothing. I actually love it, but now I'm having to love, okay, I'm in a new stage in life. My hair's growing, it's getting heavy, so I gotta love the stage I am now. So people does trim their locks just to cut down the drying time and the washing time and the styling time. The styling does take really long. When you are trimming your locks, most people come to regret their decision, being that they trim their locks for the wrong reason. Because if you really look at it, however you want to put it, locks is a journey. So you can imagine growing something for so long and then you cut off like a piece of you. I just can't even imagine that. Like I grew my locks for years at a time. Probably this is the longest thing I've ever nurtured, and for me to just cut it off, like I literally feel like I am losing a piece of me if I do that. So I can't imagine how people feel when they trim their locks because it really is that deep. But if you're somebody whose mind is like officially made up, like you done come to the decision like, okay, I trim my locks, that's that, then you will be happy with your decision for whatever reason you do decide. Another reason why people trim their locks is because they feel like out with the old and in with the new. Most people want to trim their locks for a new look. Can you blame them? They want a shorter look. Like their hair has been long for like some 15 years, some people grow their hair for and they just want that short look again. They want that bob, so they trim their locks. Some people just want to change, or some people going through a breakup and they feel like, okay, if I cut my hair, that's a new me, that's a new branding. So it's a lot of things that go into trimming your locks. Like, that's why we're not being judgmental over here if you are trimming your locks. And then some people trim their locks simply because of the length. Like, your locks can grow as far as your ankles, and some people really can't deal with that no more, and they just fed up, they're tired, they decide to do a trim. We cannot blame them. However, one of the most common reasons for trimming your locks is the buildup and the length has suddenly surpassed, and instead of them cutting off all their locks, they go the trimming method, and they just feel like that would help it. But what you do need to keep in mind is, if you're trimming because of buildup and, you know, length, if you trim your locks, more than likely the new set of locks is going to get built up in length if you're not taking care of your locks. Trimming is not going to change it. Your habit needs to change. So when you do decide to trim your lock just because of buildup and length, you do need to keep in mind that your habits need to change. However, I just want you to know that the pattern that you decide to go on is all up to you at the end of the day. Do never let nobody persuade your decision or detour you from your decision. Your decision is your decision, and only you have to live with it at the end of the day. So these are just some tips that I wanted you to consider when you are trimming your locks, or if you are looking forward to trimming your locks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on trimming your locks.